Hello everyone. We're going to be talking today about the IELTS exam. Before we begin, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. How many have you taken the exam before?
Yes, I have.
How many times?
Once.
What did you think of the test?
The test is difficult. It is pretty hard. It's really difficult.
All right. I would tend to agree with that. It is a difficult test. You're being compared to the highest level of English. So this test is designed at the highest level, and then you are compared to that level. Either, where do you fit into that level? Somewhere between, 0 would be a non-speaker, knows no English, up to 9 would be the highest level of English. So you're rated pretty much somewhere between 0 and 9, right? And for the most part, it's going to be generally around 4 to 9. The exam is in 4 sections. The first section is listening. Listening is approximately 30 minutes long. You have 4 sections with 40 questions. The sections each have 10 questions. That's a total of 40. And of course, it gets more difficult as you go. The first section is a conversation between 2 people. Now, this conversation can be any situation. It could be someone ordering food from a restaurant, usually by phone. They'll call up, they'll give their order, the person will repeat it, they'll ask for your address, your phone number, things like this. And you're following on a text of this conversation with some gaps in there. The words are missing. And as you listen, you have to fill in those gaps. Now, one of the things you need to know is that they always make a mistake. And they'll have to repeat it. Could be a phone number, could be an address, or it could even be the spelling of someone's name. The second section is usually a monologue about something. Monologue meaning one person speaking about something, about a topic. And you have to answer questions. These can be where you write the answer, or they could be multiple choice. The third section is a conversation between 2 people. It's going to be a little bit like part 1, but the answers will be a little bit harder. It's sometimes a mixture of multiple choice and writing the answer. The last section, again, is a monologue. In other words, one person speaking. This can be a university lecture, which is very common, or just a person talking about something, and you have to write the answers as you listen. These could be, again, where you have to write the answer or multiple choice. Do you know how many words you can write in any of the answers in the listening test?
Should it be a one word or one sentence?
Okay. It will always give you that information at the beginning of the section. And it will say no more than 1 word, in which case you can only write 1 word. Right? Or it might say no more than 2 words, or no more than 3 words. You will never write more than 3, if they allow 3. So if it says no more than 3 words, the answer could be 1 word. It could be 2 words, or it could be 3, but never more than 3. So if the answer is red, white, and blue, can I write red, white, and blue?
Yes, we can.
Well, no, that would be 4 words, right? Red, white, and blue.
Oh, you're counting and as well. Okay.
Yes. See, that's a good question.
So it should be only
Yeah.
red.
Okay. So you asked, are we counting and? And the answer is yes, of course. Everything counts. A book is 2 words because the article a is a word. So you have to be very careful. If it says 1 word only, then the answer is can be 1 word. So it cannot be the boy. do some practice now. We're going to listen to some conversations or monologues, and we're going to answer some questions, all right? Now, the first one, I want you to listen. In this first one, you're going to be writing answers, and the instructions say no more than 3 words. So the answer could be 1 word, 2 words, or 3 words. So let's listen now. All right, now this is going to be the file New Insights into IELTS, track 31, and the time between 34 and 4 minutes.
Section 1. You will hear a conversation between an optometrist and a patient who has come for an eye test. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 6. You will see that there is an example that has been done for you. On this occasion only, the conversation relating to this will be played first.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here for an appointment at 10 o'clock with the optometrist. I'm a little early. I know it's only 10 to 10.
Are you Simon Lee?
Yes, I am.
The time of the appointment is 10 o'clock. So 10 a.m. has been written in the space. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 6.
Good morning. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm here for an appointment at 10 o'clock with the optometrist. I'm a little early. I know it's only 10 to 10.
Are you Simon Lee?
Yes, I am.
I'm Rachel White, the optometrist here today. Come in and take a seat.
Thanks.
Before we test your eyes, I just need to get a few details from you. So, Simon, what's your full name?
Simon Anthony. That's Anthony. And my family name is Lee. L-E-E.
Mm-hmm. And your date of birth, Simon?
The 1st of June, 1989.
The 21st of June?
No, the 1st of June.
Oh, whoops, sorry. 1989. Ah, same year my son was born. What's your current address?
I'm living at a hall of residence.
Which one?
At University Hall, not far from here, in Adams Terrace.
University Hall. And do you have any medical insurance?
Yes, I'm fully covered.
And who are you insured with?
I'm with Health for Life.
Healthy Life.
No, people always get that wrong. It's Health for Life. They're part of some big insurance company.
Good. Now, Simon, have you ever had your eyes tested before?
Yes, once, but not recently. It was when I was still at school.
So, roughly when would that have been?
Probably around September 2007. No, on second thoughts, it must have been the year before. September 2006. And my eyesight was fine then.
But you're having a little difficulty now, are you?
Well, yes. Since I started at university, I've been having difficulty with distance vision. I can't always see things in the distance.
Well, let's have a look. Now, I'm just going to cover your left eye. Yeah. Can you read the top line?
Yes. RBQS.
All right, so now let's go over the answers. Number 1, Simon. Did you get the answer?
I got Anthony.
Anthony, that's correct. Okay, Anthony. Number 2, date of birth.
1st of June.
That's correct.
Can
First, yeah, go ahead.
Can Can I use the number 6 for June?
No. I'm glad you asked that. You cannot use numbers for months. Okay, if they say September, you must write September. You cannot use 9 for September. Or in the case of June, you cannot use 6. You cannot use a number for a month. You must spell it out. If they say June, you must write June. If they say September, you must spell it out. And don't use the short form, SEP or SEPT. Spell it out, September. Okay, so we said number 2 was 1st of June. You could also write 1 ST June, because that's the same, 1st of June. And number 3?
University Hall.
University Hall. And number 4, name of insurance company?
Health for Life.
All right, good. He's not very clear on that one. He says Health for Life. Right? It's Health for Life. And number 5, date of last eye test?
September 2006.
That's correct. September 2006. You remember he made a mistake. He originally said September 2007. He goes, no, I think it was 2006. They do this very often, making changes. And number 6, problem seeing?
In distance.
All right, in distance or in the distance. Either one is acceptable. All right, now we're going to go on now to the next section, the next listening. And this is going to be, you're going to see page 41. Now this is the type of multiple choice that we find in part 2 and part 3 of the IELTS listening. It's different from multiple choice in part 4, and I'll explain that later. In parts 2 or 3 of an exam, you're going to hear a conversation, and you have to listen to what they mean. What are they talking about? You read the question, and you follow, as you're listening, you look at the answers, A, B, and C. This type, they do not say the answers as they are in A, B, and C. They will say something that means the same as one of them, and that would be the correct answer. Another one will be mentioned, but in a different way. And the third one could also be mentioned in a different way, or it's not mentioned at all. So my advice to you is, go with your feeling. What do they mean? And then you answer it that way. All right, now we're going to listen to this one. You're going to answer the first 2 questions as you listen. Each one is a conversation between 2 people. So you'll hear the first 2 speakers, and you answer the question, and then you will listen to the second 2 speakers, and you will answer the question. So here we go. All right, and now you will put in from New Insights into IELTS, track 13, the time from the beginning until 1 minute and 12 seconds. And that's page 41.
Conversation 3.
Can I, come in?
Sure, come in. Oh, hi, Mariella. How's it going?
Oh, okay. But I've run into a bit of a problem with my economics essay topic.
Right. What's the problem?
Well, initially I wanted to do something on the slump in the IT industry, but I just haven't been able to get enough data. And so I was wondering if you'd be prepared to give me an extension until Wednesday week to get it finished.
Well, as long as you promise...
Conversation 4.
Hi, Frank. It's Greg here.
How are you doing?
Good, mate. Doing anything this evening?
Yeah, I've got to finish my economics dissertation. Why?
Oh, it's just that there's a free barbecue on at the sports centre. Thought you might fancy coming along.
Look, I'd love to, but if I don't finish this assignment for Dr. Pollard tonight, I may as well give up economics. In fact, I may as well give up university. I only just scraped a pass in the first semester.
Oh, well, don't let me keep you from your books.
All right, let's go over the answers for this one. So, number 1, The students agree that playing sport is, did you get an answer for this one?
I heard something about time, so I think the answer is B.
Okay, very good.
Time.
It is about time. She said, I played sports for the uni last semester. It was fun, but it really cut into my time, meaning it took up her time. So that's the meaning of time consuming. So the answer, as you said, is B, time consuming, all right? She didn't mention better than studying, A. She didn't even mention that. Neither one of them did. And number C, they used a different form of the word competitive. One of them said the competitions, all right? So that's a form of the word, but it's not the same meaning as competitive. A competition is a game. Competitive means the two sides are sort of equal to each other. All right, and let's look at number 2. Why does the man need the library book today?
He said something about the book for class.
Okay, yes, he needed it for a class. It's B, right?
Class on Australian literature.
Okay, yes. He said it's on the reading list for the first year Australian literature course. So remember this, because sometimes IELTS likes to use these things. Here we have, in answer B, it says it is a set text for the course. Well, a set text is the same as a book on a reading list. A reading list would be a list of books the professor has chosen for a course. A set text is one book a professor has chosen for a course. So the meaning, when they say it's on the reading list, that's the same as a set text. So the answer was B. All right, now we're going to go to the next part. This is another type of multiple choice. This would be in part 4 of the exam. Try to remember this, that they are different between parts 2 and 3. Parts 2 and 3, the multiple choice, you answer the same way. You go with your feeling. What did they mean? In part 4, if you have multiple choice, you may have it, you may not. You go according to the question. You have to carefully read the question and then answer it, because they will often say each answer, or something very close to each answer. Sometimes the same word, sometimes the same meaning. In this case, you have to answer according to the question. And this is trickier than it sounds. It is very tricky. So let's listen, and you're going to answer the 3 questions, multiple choice, and you're going to read the questions, and then underline the key words in the questions, and then you will answer them, all right? So let's listen to track 18 on page 40. This is also the track New Insights. So if you will insert that video, please, or that sound.
Track 18.
Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the International Space Station, the ISS, which is a joint venture between 20 countries, the 5 nations of the United States of America, Russia, Japan, Canada, Brazil, and the 15 nations of the European Space Agency. It's the largest and most complex international scientific project in the history of mankind, and, as you can imagine, something of this size doesn't come cheap. So how much is it actually going to cost? Well, despite the fact that it was estimated to cost $120 billion, it's already gone $8 billion over budget. So now we're looking at $128 billion. People always want to know the same kind of information about the ISS. So I'll run through the most common questions. First of all, they always ask me how we manage with so little water on board the station. Well, I can assure you that nothing goes to waste. Because of the impracticality of transporting large amounts of liquid into space, we've come up with some ingenious solutions. For instance, everyone on board, including the laboratory rats, loses water when they exhale or sweat. This humidity goes through a condensation process before being returned to the water supply. Because, of course, if we don't reuse the water, the station would need about 20,000 kilograms of water transported from Earth each year, which just couldn't be done.
All right, let's go over the answers now. So this was about, we listened to this talk about the ISS, the International Space Station. So number one, how many nations are involved in the ISS?
There were 5 nations plus 15 countries. So I believe the answer is C.
Okay,
20.
That's right. Very good. All right, so they mentioned the 5 nations of, it was Canada, the USA, Brazil, Japan, and Australia, I think, something like that, plus the 15 nations of the European Space Agency. So the answer is 20. Number 2, how much should the ISS have cost to build?
128 billion. C. 128 billion.
All right, this is a tricky one. I'm going to read the question again, and I'm going to put emphasis on one of the words, and then I want you to think about what the answer is.
Okay.
How much should the ISS have cost to build?
Oh, how much should it cost? Then the answer should be, it should cost $120 billion.
Okay,
Answer B.
120 billion is correct, right? It should, it talks about, it was initially estimated to cost $120 billion, but now they're $5 billion over budget, so they're they're $8 billion over budget, so now they're looking at $128 billion. But it should have been 120. That's the key there. You see how tricky that is. Many people answer 128 for this one, but the correct answer is B, 120 billion. All right, and number 3, how is the water supply maintained on board?
Number C, by recycling all the water.
That's correct. All right, he talked about how he says that they do use very little water, but the main thing was the recycling, and he said they wouldn't be able to transport the water from Earth because it would be 20,000 kilos, and that just couldn't be done. So they cannot do the transporting from Earth. They have to recycle. So the answer is C.